Arjan, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Arjan, on Thursday, October 1st, 2020, Milestone reported that the company projects a five-fold increase over the second quarter in sales for the third quarter ending September 30th. Please give us the highlights.
Yes, absolutely. We are very pleased, and as we announced on the 1st of October, our sales in the third quarter were a multiple of 5 over the second quarter. So that is a very good confirmation that the business is picking up again. We know that the business has been resilient. We know that a lot of dental offices have been struggling, but we are very pleased to see that the dental offices are reopening again, both, I would say, in the United States and international. We have seen an increase in the consumable orders. So I think that is very positive for us. Secondly, I would say, in spite of the pandemic and the difficult environment that we are currently living in, it's our customer loyalty is an evidence, or the results is an evidence of our customer loyalty. And I would thank the customers, of course, also in this respect to maintain with us and being our partners in these difficult times. So we are thinking that the development, the outlook looks good. And we have a positive feeling of the recovering of the dental business moving forward.
Arjan, Milestone's dental business has shown remarkable resilience and is a strong revenue generator. Please summarize Milestone's dental business, including its main technology and its chief advantages over its competitors.
So our business model for the dental business is what we call the razor and razor blade model. So what we use is an installed base, a unit base, and one unit is then stimulating the sales of the consumables. So looking back at the results of 2019, we had 8.4 million in revenues, 7 million are consumables, 1.4 million is on the instruments. So the 7 million is sort of returning revenue. So we can only grow the business if we also expand on the instrument base, right? And that is exactly one of the key strategies that we are employing in, as we speak in 2020 and in 2021 moving forward. So the dental business is picking up again. We are pleased with the results. We have been able to maintain the margins, and we have seen an uptake in the consumable orders. The second part of your question, the technology that we apply is the dynamic pressure sensing technology that we also use in other areas, but historically we started within the dental field, and it's a computer-controlled injection system. So we control the flow of the local anesthetic as well as the precise placement of the tip of the needle when the local anesthetic is injected. The main advantages are that there's virtually no pain for the patient. There is, no numbness, no facial numbness or lip numbness. So immediately after the procedure, you can have your cup of tea or drink, let's say, a hot drink if needed. So that is definitely an advantage. Most importantly, it solves a key problem. And the key problem here is in, let's say, worldwide and also in the United States, that people fear to go to the dentist. And one of the main reasons is actually because of the syringe that normally is applied. And it's applied with high pressure. It's associated with pain. The drug is not delivered on in the right place and not in the right speed. So that is definitely one point. Another key differentiator that we are having over our competitors is that our system is coming with a single-use sterile disposable. So especially, it supports the dentist in creating a safe environment for his staff and his patients, which is important. It's effective. The local anesthetic based and through our injection procedures is effective. So the dentist can start immediately in less than 60 seconds with applying and conducting his normal crown and bridge work, for example, or the procedure. He doesn't have to go to another room, doesn't have to change or make changes to, let's say, his PPE equipment that he is having. So that's definitely in these cases, yeah, I would say an important factor. Third part is, of course, it's a unique growth driver, as 25% of the second appointments are canceled. You know, that's a loss of revenue for the dental clinics. And by applying our system, where that fear is taken away, he can recover a potential revenue of $150,000 on an annual basis.
Arjan, let's turn now to Milestone's CompuFlow epidural system. How is Milestone's epidural system possibly revolutionary, and what are hospitals saying to you when they become acquainted with CompuFlow?
Yeah, it is revolutionary because of the patented technology that we are applying that is guaranteeing it measures actually, it monitors and gives you real-time feedback on any pressure changes on the tip of the needle. So when it is primarily used, or we enter the segment, what we call the epidural market segment, where it is of utmost importance that the needle is placed within the epidural space, not any further, because then it might hit the membrane and then it will cause morbidity and rates. And the morbidity rates in this segment is 4.5% to 5%. So it's revolutionary that we can reduce these morbidity rates to close to zero. Studies have shown and proven that. It's 99% effective, as supported by clinical documentation. So the patients will not have a severe migraine for up to 6 weeks. They will not have transient paralysis that could occur, or even permanent paralysis or mortality, although those cases are rare. So that is definitely a key advantage. Secondly, when it is applied, our methodology is applied and our technology is applied to catheter placement, we can reduce and save time for the hospital and the physicians from 40 minutes to 2 minutes, because normally he would give a bolus injection when the patient is still in pain after the catheter placement to see the effect of the anesthesia. In our case, when we measure exactly, again, the drop in pressure, we know within 2 minutes that the catheter is placed in the right way. Thirdly, it contributes in reducing the cost, education cost, from 90 days for a resident to 2 days. And education is expensive. And last but not least, litigation costs are reduced also or avoided when our system is used. Litigation costs currently is about $300,000. So how it is perceived by the clinicians is they definitely see the benefits. We have been able in the recent months to increase the number of demos and trials. So our pipeline is, I would say, robust. At the same time, the hospitals are facing challenges with their capital budgets. Some hospitals have frozen it. Other hospitals say, don't come back until next year because we cannot make any commitments. But that's where we have changed our strategy again. So what we do now, we lend the equipment to the hospital versus a commitment to a minimum number of consumables. And again, it's the same business model that we are having in the dental market segment. It's the razor and razor blade. And if and when we believe that we can become the standard of care, and then applying our margins of more than 60%, that would mean on a number of 2 million epidurals on a yearly basis, that would mean a net profit of $80 million for the company.
Arjan, let's turn finally to finances. Tell us how the increase in sales strengthens Milestone's financial position. Tell me, how much cash have you got on hand also, and how do you plan to deploy that cash?
So the cash on hand as of 30th September this year is $14 million. Your question on how the results in the dental business strengthen our financial position, we have been able to sustain our margins on the consumables in the dental business. So that's very important. Secondly, we are reducing the expenses, or I would say we are very focused on cost efficiency. So we take very good care of our expenses. in combination with that margin development sustainable there, we use part of the money that we have available, we invested in the right marketing efforts to push also the unit sales in the dental business. The dental business for the unit sales goes hand in hand and with the consumable sales, so that will overall then stimulate our top line revenue growth. So I think we are in a very fortunate position based on the cash at hand. And then secondly, that automatically also will mean that, for no reason we will raise capital right now, because we are in a financially very solid and healthy position.
Milestone looks like it's in a very good position, Arjan. Thank you for the update.
Thank you very much, Craig.